Steve, is a new confirmed number 9 at the football club. Video Connor of Sky just saying ISAK is a Liverpool player. He has left the building and is expected to wear the number 9 shirt.
It's mega, isn't it? I mean,
not too bad, this, Steve. It's a break the transfer record twice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got to take the disappointment of Gay in the context of it being an extraordinary window in every other respect. And Leone, as well, we're talking about Gay, like Leone's in the Italian national squad and he's 18 years old and he's honestly built like the Terminator.
He's not 18. I need birth certs. I need videos of his mother giving birth, timestamps.
What a ridiculous physique for a kid.
Imagine he's coming home with your 17-year-old daughter in 15 years, Steve, and go, "Oh yeah, I'm 18. You are,
You're 30, aren't you?" No, I mean, so if we take our disappointment, we park that to one side. It's been an extraordinary window, and this, really polishes it off. I've got so much to say on this. It's just been really bizarre, hasn't it? We probably all knew this is where we're going to be on September the 1st, talking about this as having happened, whether it happened last week or week before or 10 minutes ago, and it's been absolutely extraordinary to see the way Newcastle have handled it, the way certain journalists in the biggest inverted commas possible have handled it. We've seen the difference between reporters and journalists. Journalists who interrogate facts or things they're told, and reporters who just blindly say, "Well, I've been told this, so this is the fact."
We'll just call them Luke, just for argument's sake.
I know this certain gentleman wants to stay in with Newcastle, and it's really integral to his job to have good communication, good contacts with that club. But the guy's reporting things as fact that he cannot have believed himself. The
man went on and gave the full Taken speech on social media, and start bragging about how he's keeping notes and going to be laughing at people. And that's the part that really wound me up. It's how far he went.
And then he gave it the one last night that we should all be praising him for breaking the exclusive.
Oh, I seen that. He was having to go with Ben Jacobs over it, even though with different sources.
He was. And I know, I know that other people have got a lot of abuse because they've said something different to what Luke Edwards has been saying. So I don't know that he's very popular with the kind of Liverpool press pack. I don't know if he's very popular with a lot of the sort of transfer journalists because of the way he's been talking about things. But I just, the whole way that Newcastle have handled it for me has been absolutely bizarre. They've sacrificed their first 3 games on an ego trip to try and appear like they're playing hardball, and we all knew that it would end like this, and it has.
It's a relief, though. Let's be honest, it is a relief. And Chris, I mean, it would be remiss of us in all this praise and criticism not to speak about Hughes, Edwards, and FSG and the club. All of them deserve extreme credit, massive plaudits for both the way that they've gone about the business, for the targets that they've brought in, and for the intent that they've showed here. It has been quite simply a phenomenal window, and all of them, to a man, deserve huge credit.
100%, man, 100%. And they've rightfully had critique before. Let's just say this: they have rightfully had critique, but that doesn't change the fact that they rightfully deserve praise this window. Obviously, it seemed very un-Liverpool to start with, but the more and more the window went on, the more and more it was so Liverpool, the way that they operated. Look at the amount of money we've recuperated and actually gained profit on for players who aren't going to play or weren't going to play or who wanted to leave. I think the only one we've had a cut a loss on was Darwin. The rest of them we've actually made a profit. And Darwin, by the way, wasn't an Edwards Hughes player. He was a Klopp signing. So listen, I as you say, to a man, loads and loads of credit. Do I think it'll all come together maybe this season? Who knows? But what we know is the future of the club's in really, really safe hands.
Connor sent me a graphic, Steve, earlier on of the 9 big signings that we've made, and it really looked like an Avengers Assemble kind of piece. It's just truly phenomenal to have seen it. But I also want to speak, and amongst all of this, about Cody Gakpo and his new contract as well, Steve, which is a great sign.
Well, massively, yeah. He's, I've not perhaps always been massive fan. He didn't really convince me sort of playing down the middle when Klopp used to play down the middle. Back on the left, back end of last season into this season, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? And you know what? He looks like a really good guy as well. And I think that counts for a lot. I think he seems like a really level-headed lad. Loads of potential still. He's still only young, and he would forget, like, he feels like he's been around for a long time, but he's still only young. And I think, yeah, really, really, really well deserved for him to get, I'm guessing, the money that he's after. The interesting thing for him is, with ISAK coming in, is now kind of where all the pieces fit. And I think he's going to be one who's probably, going to have a conversation with the manager at some point and say, just, how's this all going to shake down? Because it's going to be interesting.
Competition for places will lift levels. And Chris, I will always credit you with being the very first person who ever introduced me to the idea or the concept of Cody Gakpo when he was at PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm happy to hype him up. And I just really, really love him. Just one of my favorite players. The thing is with him is that I think he's really got a niche where, he will always have a place in the squad because he just scores goals. Like he ever since he signed, obviously he had a bit of a struggle to start with. We were in a real tough period anyway. He came into his own in Jurgen's last season, unbelievable in the Euros, and then carried that on into Arna's. And I think what you can see about Slot is that he absolutely trusts Gakpo 100%. It's very, very rare that he's not in the starting 11 these days. It's very rare. Even last season, he actually put Diaz in the middle. Gakpo was often playing on the left throughout the whole of last season. Yeah, listen, long may he continue because he's just such a good option. And I don't know, with the whole Ekitike, ISAK, who's going to play on the left sort of thing. But I imagine he will play a lot of football.
Steve, before I move to my final question for you both, a little word on Harvey Elliott and a move to Aston Villa alone with an obligation for 35. We've no confirmation or denial of a potential buyback option in it. I don't know as we sit here, but thoughts on that deal?
It's a sad one, I think, isn't it? And I think, yeah, it's a sad one because we all know he's made no secret of the fact that he absolutely loves the club. We talked about this last week, didn't we? That he would never have really agitated for a move. He never made a fuss. He isn't that kid. And he's a really, really, really good player, isn't he? He's probably just, and this is no disrespect to Aston Villa, but he's probably there, isn't he? That's his kind of level. And that's not a bad thing because he's still, you're walking into a club where you're probably going to be one of the best players in a team that's top 8, top 6 in the Premier League, but he's not good enough to get a regular spot in our midfield, is he? But I am really sad to see him go. I do wish him all the best. I texted a Villa supporting mate of mine earlier on, and I said, honestly, you've got an absolute belter there. You've got an absolute gem because I think he'll be great for them. I think every Liverpool fan will wish him all the best.
Absolutely agree, 100%. A good lad underneath it all, and whether we see him back or not, I guess remains to be seen.